Hey there, I'm Karen Murray, and this is a psyched update for Sunday, June 26, 2022. Hearing a very loud bird outside my window, so maybe a message for someone there. Was waiting for them to be quiet and fly away, and they're not. So I'll just be competing with nature here. So, all right. For those of you that don't know me, I've been a professional psychic in Austin, Texas since 1988. I'm a channel, I'm an empath, I'm a medium. I use tarot and astrology in my private sessions. So my readings are a combo deal of all of that, including past life flashbacks or prophetic future sights if I see them. I also do past life regressions, rebirthings, psychic development instruction, house clearings, and house concerts if you're into that. All right, so as usual, I'm going to talk about the transits for this upcoming week. And then I'm going to do mini readings, one card reading for all 12 signs. I'll put the timestamps below for that. So it's been rough. I'm going to start off with that. It's been intensive. Everyone I talk to says that they're tired or exhausted. Like, people are asking me, why am I feeling so tired? Why has it been so intensive? And so there's a couple different things that I see going on that makes it the case. So for a while, Saturn has been activated. For the last couple of years, Saturn has been a major player. It's an outer planet. It's our rules, our constrictions, how we set up boundaries. It's that we have to put in time and energy and attention into things. And it's retrograde right now. So when outer planets go retrograde, they really kind of churn up some deep-seated patterns. And this is Saturn in Aquarius. So Aquarius is about our connections and our networks and the world around us, our how we relate to each other. So Saturn here is asking us, how are we forming our boundaries when it comes to the people in our lives? Are we balancing out the time we're cultivating our own inner growth and our own self-development with the amount of time we're spending being social or connecting with others, whether that's in a cyber realm or whether it's in a literal realm of actually being around people. So Saturn retrograde has been just super intensive. It feels to me like an elephant sitting on the chest. And it's like it's going back over something in your life that you've already been doled out the lessons about. Same thing with Pluto. Pluto is deep level transformation. It's also retrograde. So it's also in reviewing the old gunk that we need to really deeply transform in our lives when it comes to standing up and empowering ourselves. Like, to me, Saturn is, where do we need to put time and energy and effort and set boundaries? And Pluto is, where do I need to really change everything? Where do I need to really change how I operate, my operating system? And right now, the sun has moved into Cancer over this last week. It's at 5 degrees of Cancer. It takes 30 degrees for the sun to move through a sign. It starts with 0 degrees, the first degree, 29 is the last one. So this first decade of Cancer has been about how we feel about ourselves. Cancer's our emotional body. It's our mother, our nurturing, how our home life was, our inner child. And so if we got our inner child needs met during childhood, we had a beautiful, love-filled, supportive childhood. When we have transits in Cancer, it can just feel joyful and empowering, and another review of how beautiful it is to live here and to nurture. And you're probably better at nurturing yourself than those of us who didn't receive what we needed in childhood and were neglected or abused in whatever way, verbally, emotionally, mentally. The more gnarly your childhood is, the harder it is that you generally will have with your feelings. Because if you grow up in an unsafe environment, it's not safe to feel. It's not safe to show people how you're feeling, especially vulnerable feelings. And so Cancer in this first decade could really unconsciously, without you even thinking about it, stir up like your childhood memories and flashbacks. And if you felt crappy about yourself as a child, that could have gotten stirred up over these last 5, 6 days. So if you've been feeling really weird and wonky and don't know why, like, how was your childhood? And like, this is our opportunity, right, to reparent ourselves and give ourselves a lovely childhood at whatever age we are. And so but this theme of the sun moving through Cancer is a lot about self-care and self-nurturing. So it's, no matter what you're going through right now, I guarantee you that one of the things you need to do is up the volume for self-care. Like, soak in the tub more, like, get yourself flowers, write in your journal, clean your house up, organize something new, like, go down to basic, get more rest. That's the other thing, is everyone I'm talking to has been super tired, like physically, either having their sleep interrupted or sleeping extra, or even if they're getting extra sleep, can't seem to get enough sleep. I've been hearing that a lot. And I'm going to say Neptune is responsible for that. So Neptune is stationing to turn retrograde. It will turn retrograde this coming Tuesday. So it's been slowing down, as planets do. They slow down and get more intensive before they turn one way or the other. If they're headed retrograde and they're turning back direct, they get real intensive around the turnaround time, and vice versa. When they're going direct and they're about to turn retrograde, it can be super intensive, and the power of that planet gets heightened. And so what's getting heightened right now is a Neptune. And so Neptune's two different realms of reality, like, they're, and depending on whether people are awake or conscious or on this path or not, depends on how they're awake they are or not. Like, some people are just taking extra sleeping pills right now, like, just, all right, just get me checked out, or checking out even more. Neptune can make us want to numb. Neptune in Pisces. Neptune is the ruler of Pisces. So two realms, the higher realm, spiritual and psychic, where we can receive intuitive downloads from our higher self, from our spirit guides, from the world around us, and get messages, see clearly psychically, see spiritually, see the energy behind things, the meaning, the purpose. Like, this is the seeing things from the higher realm. Neptune and Pisces can really help us see this. This is the vision I think we're all here working on spiritually, seeing ourselves as divine beings, seeing everyone else as divine beings, seeing the divine energy that connects everyone to each other, right? To me, that's part of, like, holding that vision of everyone being their divine self, and everyone seeing the divine self in everyone else. To me, that is what world peace is. It's like everyone acknowledging the best parts of themselves and seeing that in everyone else as well, like holding that vision for themselves and others. We all have that yin and yang fight, right? We have that predisposition towards enlightenment and spiritual growth and development and seeking out our higher self. We also have the predisposition towards fundamental darkness within. To me, it's always a battle between the darkness within us and the light within us. Who's going to win the battle? And it depends on whether or not you're applying spiritual practices or not. Because if you're not doing something, concerted effort to plug into your higher self, you're going to just go into the default that the planet is on, which I would say there's unfortunately more people that are asleep than are awake on our planet. So you go into the default of collective, means you go unconscious. You just start sleepwalking. You don't know what you want. You don't know. It doesn't matter. Like, whatever. I'm just going to watch Netflix anyway. Like, people who are just truly checked out, going through motions in their life and their relationships or whatever. So, and wanting to be asleep, caught up in addiction, caught up in illusion, delusion, can't see clearly. These are the downsides of Neptune and Pisces, right? So Neptune's about to turn retrograde. We're about to review what have we been doing with this planetary emphasis and energy in our lives. Where is Pisces in your home chart? That could also have to do with where are you seeing these energies show up in a daily practical way in your life. But for all of us, we're being kind of thumped in the head by Neptune right now. And we may really just want to check out and sleep. We could have vivid dreams. We could have amazing psychic, spiritual connections or we can feel completely disconnected right now, right? So all that can be going on at the same time, but it's a very intensive backdrop with Pluto retrograde, Saturn retrograde, and now Neptune about to turn retrograde. We're headed into a new moon. So the new moon will be exact at 9:52 p.m. on Tuesday, the 28th. That's Austin, Texas time. And it'll be new at 7 degrees of Cancer. And the new moon means the sun and the moon are together in the skies. It's always new beginning times to plant new seeds. There's a great energy if you pay attention to the new moon cycles and you try to launch new aspects of your life, you know, in these new moons. Like this is a new moon in Cancer. This could be, how can I set a new intention when it comes to self-care, where I'm really daily, practically taking care of my physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual bodies. That could be a new moon intention that would be really resonant and powerful this week to set. Is like, what things can I commit to that I already gotten the information. This is not new information. The commitment to like implementing all the things that you know about self-care and just doing it. Like if you wrote down all the things that you know already, I know I shouldn't be eating sugar. I know blah, blah, blah. You know, I know I should move my body every day. And I always tell people not to shit on themselves, but you know, it's the list of things you've already gotten clear about. You get clear about it, you may be able to rock a regular workout routine for a while, for example, and then you fall off of it. You fall back into inertia. So what are the things you know? Like if you were to write a list of 6 things that you know your life would benefit you if you did every day, what would those 6 things be? 7, like 8, I don't know. I'm just grabbing 6 because I feel like everybody has those 6 things. Like if you were going to write little squares or little hearts that you would color in when you did these things, they could be like drinking X amount of water a day, all right, or meditating every day, or moving your body, or like eating only healthy foods, or, you know, whatever, having productive activities, you know, looking at things positively, writing a gratitude list, like whatever things you feel like would really do some fundamental self-care. I would suggest getting clear about that, writing those things down, and beginning to do those things regularly when it comes to this new moon energy on Tuesday. And it's in the evening too. So you might be setting these intentions on Tuesday to where you're really feeling like you're beginning the energies on Wednesday. Like that's kind of like when you set the new moon intention, like this is what I'm going to be doing now. This is what I want for my life. This is what I want to manifest. When it comes to my emotional nature too, like Cancer is about our emotional nature. It can be ourselves as mothers. It can be our relationship with our mothers. It can be anyone we're mothering or nurturing in our lives. But particularly within this first decan, it's about nurturing ourselves. Like, and we'll move into the second decan later this week, which will be about, are we keeping the nurturing going when it comes to connecting with other people? All right. So another powerful thing right now, we have the moon in Gemini. And I will also suggest that you check out my daily videos that I put here at YouTube. I put them on my Facebook, personal and business pages. I put them on Instagram and on TikTok. I do little 59-second dailies, and I'm paying more attention to the moon on the dailies because it's easier to fine tune how the moon is playing out on a daily basis. It's switching signs sometimes in the middle of a day. But I've found that my dailies are highlighted more about what's jumping out at the moon. If there's another important transit that jumps out, I'll talk about that as well. And I draw a daily card. And those have been very interesting for me, how they're showing up and seem to be really accurate for folks. Okay, Sun in Cancer, primal emotions, primal core family issues. So all those things can be coming to the surface, like how you feel about yourself down deep, down core, like how do you truly, really feel about yourself? Like, and going back to core. And some of us have worked really hard to heal that stuff. And we may find that all of a sudden we feel like we've gone back to an old pattern or old behavior. That can happen when these planets are retrograde, the outer planets reviewing. Let's go back, let's review. And then the sun in a very vulnerable sign. So we've got now, right now, 3 planets in Gemini as I'm recording this. The moon is working through Gemini right now. We also have Venus and Mercury. Excuse me, I just got a hiccup. Gemini is the twins. It's ruled by Mercury. So anytime there's a planet in Gemini, it's like having 2 planets, right? Or twins going on. So with 3 planets there, Moon, Mercury, and Venus, it's like 3 sets of twins, or like 6 people up in your head. So you may feel kind of extra chatty about all kinds of things. Venus, love, your relationship, how you're receiving energy, your money. Mercury is your thoughts, your communication with others. The moon is your intuition. So there can be lots of insights around all these things just going on, all bubbly. Gemini energy can make us want to just chatter and talk to people. And so if you've been like texting extra or having extra phone conversations or just wanting to be extra social, some of this is these planets moving through the Gemini energy. Jupiter's over there in Aries. Mars is in Aries. As I'm recording this, Mars is at 24 degrees of Aries, right? So it moves to 29 degrees before it moves into Taurus. So this whole week, it's ratcheting up in these outer numbers of the outer realm of Aries. And this is what makes me begin to be nervous, because when the planet Mars, which is the ruler of Aries, got to 29 degrees of Aries the last time around 2 years ago, January 6th of 2021 was, or I guess that's about 1.5 years ago, last time it was in this part of the skies. That's when January 6th happened, when Mars, the planet of war, was at this anaretic degree, this last degree where things get really stirred up. I've seen when the moon moves through Aries, when the sun moves through Aries, particularly when Mars moves through Aries, those 3 planets in particular, people get to be extra pissy and angry and volatile. And so I'm really expecting this volatility energy to just keep ratcheting up this week into next weekend, really culminating around the July 4th energy. I believe that Mars is actually going to be at 29 degrees on July 4th, somewhere there close to it. So we're dredging up to that. So that to me is also very interesting. The potential for attacks, Mars wars, people attacking each other, internal terroristic, crazy people. Like, to me, I begin to be worried about that starting ratcheting up this week, but particularly next weekend and into the 4th of July holiday. I mean, anytime around this, right? Things don't have to be exact for us to feel them. Here's some more transit this week that we may already be feeling. Okay. Mars, this planet of war, is going to be conjunct Eris, the goddess of like standing up and protesting. That's tomorrow, Monday. We definitely have a lot of that going on, right? And I will say too, that when the moon crossed over Uranus in Taurus last Thursday was when the Supreme Court made the announcement that they did about Roe versus Wade. And so that morning, as I was recording my dailies, I was saying it, sudden, unexpected. It's like going to a haunted house and something's going to jump out somewhere. You just don't know when and where. Like, this wasn't like it was surprising information. It was shocking and surprising, but yet not. So that to me, and I was calling that on my dailies last Thursday. I said, you can go back and listen to it. So that's where watching the dailies and watching where the moon is can really bring a lot of attention. So right now, today, tomorrow, when the moon is in Gemini, you can really be up in your head a lot. It can help you be distracted and not be in touch with your intuition. So you want to watch that. Mars conjunct Eris, though, can be protest. It's going to be protesting. We can all already guess what the protests are going to be about. You don't have to be psychic to know that. Just with the Mars conjunct Aries, these 2 energies, there would have been something going on anyway. Mercury is also sextile Chiron that day. So something could get triggered in your thoughts that actually is getting stirred up to be healed. Chiron, Mercury, your thoughts, communication, is sextile, is a positive connection. So Mercury and Gemini is having a positive connection with Chiron and Aries. It's stirring up something for us to heal in terms of our thoughts, maybe, or what we think about other people, or if we care or not about what other people think about us. Like, that kind of level of healing could happen. Or like, I've got to say this no matter what someone else thinks about me, that kind of thing I feel like could come up. Mars will be sextiling Saturn. So there's two different sextiles, Mercury sextiling Chiron, and then Mars sextiling Saturn. These are happening on the same day on Monday, the 27th. Mars, again, this god of war, it's conjunct Aries over there. It's also sextiling Saturn. Saturn's where we want to put the stop on stuff. So this is a very combustible energy to try to put the brakes on something where you're like wanting to explode and stand up for yourself, right? So you might have to feel like jets are having to be cooled, or you're like having to like, what action can we really take here? That's what Saturn's like. Saturn's like, let's slow down. Let's think about this. And Mars is like, blah. So, but it's a positive relationship. So there could be some energy to really get something, maybe it's that motivated piece, something really gets to you so much. You're like, I am taking action. I'm going to stand up for myself. This could be even a battle you're having with yourself. The bully, the fundamental darkness is not going to win anymore. My fundamental light, my brightness inside is going to win this battle. I'm going to stand up and I'm going to shift and change this. It feels like there's a bit of a battle around the day, like standing up for right, standing up for yourself, saying no to that, like, ooh, ouch, that hurts, Chiron, but that's where I need to heal myself. That's where I need this. Like, if something's hurt, if you're doing something that's hurting, you're hurting yourself over and over again. Part of that may be the message where you're like, why am I doing this to myself? What am I getting out of this? Beating myself up, having that fundamental darkness, winning this fight here. So I feel like this Mars sextile Saturn, the Saturn can help you draw boundaries where it comes to where you may have been like overdoing your energies in certain places, like helping balance out your energies is another thing that I feel like you could get, and you could get insights around. Saturn can also be your self-respect, again, it can be boundaries where you put your time and energy and effort into, like, what's the routine? What's the backstory? What's the battle plan for your life? Like, what daily groove gives you the best life? Saturn's like, let's do that every day. Let's be really strict about it. Let's have discipline around what's going to help fortify our lives. That's what I'm getting with that. And Mars is about action, right? So Saturn can be about forming things. Mars is about action. So again, that right balance could happen because it's a sextile. So illuminating a positive connection between these two. Then Tuesday, Neptune goes retrograde. It goes retrograde at 25 degrees of Pisces. And, Neptune's also like the god of the sea. So there's also a lot of emotional stuff. Again, there could be like a dream factor. You can feel like you actually wake up from a dream. Like if you've been walking around kind of in nebulous land and all of a sudden Neptune goes retrograde, you might actually go, wait, have I been dreaming? Have I been asleep? Have I been asleep? You might actually feel like you're waking up with Neptune turning retrograde. Like it may have sort of an opposite effect for you. I'm just getting that. But it also could be confusion and mixed messages. So again, all the more reason to be diving into prayer, meditation, chanting, something where you feel like what spirit, your higher self, being bathed in the light kind of energy. Another powerful energetic going on is the sun is squaring Jupiter that day. So square is contentious relationships. So the sun's up there in Cancer, Jupiter's in Aries, square's a contentious relationship. Jupiter and Aries, Jupiter's wanting to get something started. The sun in Aries is like, wait, hold on, am I ready? I don't know, do I feel safe? And then the new moon is right there too. So it's actually the moon and the sun will both be squaring Jupiter on Tuesday. So there can be this, again, this boundary setting is like, I can't do this anymore. I've got to start doing this, how I take care of myself. I really feel like people could really get on the bandwagon, get on, just like, this is it, enough of this. I can't keep living this way. I feel like these like aha moments are learning from our rough times, are learning from the negative things we're doing to ourselves. Like, I feel like that can be what we're pulling out of this week. Also, Black Moon Lilith is very close to this new moon. She's at 8 degrees at 24 8 degrees of Cancer. So the moon will be new and then she'll cross over Black Moon Lilith after that. So there's also this overcoming our fears piece. So like Chiron is in the mix because the dance Chiron was doing with Mercury right around the new moon, and then Black Moon Lilith are deep fears. So it's like it's an opportunity to me to overcome our deepest fears and our deepest woundings. Like, what would you say those are for you, and how are those showing up now for you in your life? Like, have you healed those core childhood wounds? If not, what can you practically be doing today? What daily thing is giving you the nurturing, the support? Like, if you were neglected as a child, how can you make sure you're not neglecting yourself? How can you be there for you, for example? Like, where can you step up and fill in those places that we're missing? To me, that's a puzzle that you could put together this week and like get these very clear intentions to start standing up for yourself, be your own nurturing mother, be your own strong father that you need within. We all have the masculine and feminine. So to me, this could be a very complicated puzzle that you maybe started off going, wait, what? I can't figure this out. And then you just start with the border. You just start with, all of a sudden things start clicking in and you're like, oh, wait, oh, I see what this is now. It's like doing a puzzle that you don't know what the picture is. That's what this week feels like. And then it does feel like it starts clicking into place. And then, as the moon is in Cancer for the new moon late on Tuesday, and then it spends a couple days going through Cancer, which makes us all kind of raw and vulnerable and sensitive. So if you, this feels like detox to me. Like if you decide I'm going to stop eating sugar, I'm going to stop drinking alcohol, I'm going to do whatever, you may move into a detox period this week where you're like, ugh. Like it may just feel really raw, really like you just need to hold your space with pillows and extra TLC in the middle of this week, in the wake of maybe new decisions that you make. Like to me, that would be the way to spin this. Get really clear today, tomorrow, what these decisions are, what these changes are, where you could really make differences. Like decide you're going to commit to them, commit to these into the new moon and to going into this Tuesday night, and then wake up with new patterns of behaviors Wednesday, and then probably feel kind of woozy and not with Neptune retrograde and the moon in Cancer and new beginnings going on and just sort of a new energy. It could feel kind of raw and vulnerable this week, but exciting too. Like if you're starting some new patterns, new behaviors, this can feel really beautiful. There's also Venus is sextiling Jupiter around this new moon period as well. So here's another beautiful aspect between love, Venus, sextiling Jupiter and Aries, bringing in a really beautiful new energy in terms of relationships. To me, this is a new relationship you can have with yourself. That's what I'm really feeling. Like this new mood feels, this is about me. This is about you. This is about what can you do to tweak your relationship with you this week. To me, that would be best served with this new moon. It may, anytime you do something with you, it can show up in your life around you. What new relationships can show up in all kinds in the world around you if you're creating something new with you. So I just feel like this is about like creating meaningful, transformative change right now. It's also because of the outer planets retrograde this week too. Like it's like, let's dig in. There's another important transit this week. Mars has a square with Pluto. So it's kind of feisty this week, Mars. And it squares with Pluto at 27 degrees on Friday. So again, it's getting close to that energetic degree. This is a contentious relationship between the god of war and Pluto, the god of death and transformation, and the god of the underworld. There could be some really gnarly bashing of heads. Like again, I see it can start here on July 1st, this Friday, and just kind of be the theme. It could even start before this Friday because we'll feel this Mars square Pluto before it hits exactly. We can feel that coming too. This kind of, that's why I feel like midweek, Wednesday and Thursday could feel like something's coming, something's coming, something's coming. Something could be explosive, gnarly, really intensive. Our ego could also, Mars is our ego. So maybe we've decided to make these new changes Wednesday, Thursday, we're getting through. And then by day 3 on Friday, we're like, F this. I want to go back to my default. I want to go to my old stuff. Could be this like Pluto, no, I want to transform deep within. And Mars like, the ego, like, I don't want to do this. Like there could be that kind of inner battle that could reach ahead too within yourself. So just know it's kind of volatile and war war is like the backdrop by the time we get to Friday and moving into the weekend and moving into the 4th of July holiday, unfortunately, with the Mars in these last degrees of Aries. It's very, very dicey. And then, of course, we have Pluto retrograde now at 27 degrees, which is where the United States Pluto is. So we're having another Pluto return. That's also an interesting, powerful, potent thing that's moving into the mix coming into July. It just, to me, there's some revolutionary times afoot. What's going to change? I don't know. I think we all can have really fundamental, powerful changes within ourselves. To me, this, like, if we don't stop and make the changes right now, we're going to be forced into some major changes. This one, it feels like, let's go ahead and sign up for them, do what we need to change the things we already know. I know. Let me just get on it. I promise I'll get on it. Like, to me, that's this week. You make that promise to yourself. Okay, I promise I'm going to get on it this week. All these things I know, I'm going to get on them this week. So, like, what else have I said? Or what else have I written down as notes? So again, with the Taurus energy of Uranus there in the North Node, we're continuing to have a backdrop of, are we valuing ourselves? This and shaking things getting shaken up, where we have let go of valuing ourselves, where we have relationships where we don't feel like we're valued, when we're not even having the right appreciative value with our currency, our money. If we get out of a space where we stop being grateful for the income that flows in and even our bills, like if we start feeling resentful and have like complaining, like it's easy to do that right now, right? Get into some fear around your money because gas prices, food prices, everything's higher, rents are like, So if we get into that tape, we can really get into this fear-based pulse of beat of the drum that's happening on the planet. Again, it takes concerted effort not to just default to where the collective is. To step out of fear, we have to be generating, I feel safe, I feel love, I feel connected to the divine, I'm guided and directed, and I'm taking action based on how I feel guided. Like if we're taking the daily walk of just putting the one foot in front of the other. Right now, when you're exhausted, it's good to just keep getting through these times, right? Some days it's good. Okay, I'm still alive today. Like it's really like that. Because not everybody gets to be. So there's people that are leaving this planet left and right. It's really something. It seems like every time I open up my phone, there's a new message about someone else who's passed on. So it feels like there's a bit of an exodus going on the planet, and has been for the last couple of years. So for those of us that are staying on the planet, like it has this energy of bail, go, jump ship, get out of here. Like, where are we supposed to go? We can't go anywhere, right? We're stuck here on this planet that is like going through labor pains. It's like we're going through transition in labor. For those of you who've been through labor, and for those of you who haven't in particular, transition is the stage where your contractions have sped up. They're really on top of each other. They're coming intensely. You don't really get much of a break, but it's not time to push. It's not time for that baby to come out yet. So it's the most intensive. There will be time to push. It's coming really soon. And that baby's going to be born, and there's a whole different reality. But I feel like we're in transition in labor right now on the planet. Like, and unfortunately, this is a long labor. This baby, this new baby we're birthing here on the planet, taking a while to get here, right? The pregnancy has been very intensive. In fact, we're having complications late in pregnancy is what it feels like, right? So that's just the image I'm getting. I'm just channeling. If you don't know anything about channeling, I have been doing that through most of this video today. I have loose notes, and then I just go with what I'm getting as I kind of look at my brief little Cliff Notes versions of what I've written down. So Mercury and Venus and Gemini, I did write down like new ideas, more information, again, can be up in your head. It can be easier to take a bit of dictation about what your heart wants, though. That's where it'd be easy to sit down right now with your journal, or just to write. Easier. It's not always easy, right? It could be simple, but maybe not easy. I feel like it would be really behoove so many people to sit down and write your dreams out, right where you are in your life right now. Are you aligned with what you want to be going in your life? Like, are you putting energy? It's a one day at a time, right? Things can really shift quickly if we make shifts on a daily basis. I think that's what this week is about. The new moon in Cancer is about having some new beginning with how you care for yourself. That's what I'm feeling in a very strong way. So, watch out with the Mars energy, your own unresolved anger, the people around you who have an unresolved anger. That's what I see with this Mars in the last degrees of Aries, that it could just make people pissy. So give people a wide orb, literally, where you're out driving, make sure you're giving people lots of space on the road. Like, give yourself lots of time to get to and from activities where there's going to be other people there. Like, go cushioned, ready to give people extra cushioning. That, because people are, if you know people are going to be extra hornety, like hornets, walking around looking for something to sting. I mean, go with some extra protection, go with the bug spray, right? Like, to me, it's like karmically, just know that you could get extra pissy, and like, and what do you also do in your life that makes you extra pissy? Like, almost all addictions, when you're coming off of whatever the addiction is, people ratchet up and get addiction, whether it's substance, food, drugs, whatever, or behaviors. Like, when they're having to pull away from the addictive pattern or substance, there's like a pissy energy that comes up, right? So I feel like a lot of people being asked to put something down, that Neptune and Pisces, like, put down your addictions, open up your connection to the divine instead. Like, to me, this is the trade-off. Just connect with the divine. You don't need your glass of wine or whatever to connect this way, your hit of sugar, your validation from some other person. Like, to me, it's like you're needing to get that from you. And I feel like we all are. There's a lesson for all of us that we're learning this. Even if you're in a relationship and you've got that good juju going on, great, bravo, you're rare. Let me just say, because in my experience of doing readings for the last 34 years, it's rare, unfortunately, that I find people who are truly happy, loving, and growing in their relationships. It's really rare. And when I see it, I make sure and tell the client, do you realize how rare what you have found is? And most, like, I would say 100% of the time, they're completely aware of it. They're aware that what they have is unique and fresh and different and growing and different from what they see in the world around them. Because the majority of people are unhappy in their relationships. They may not be miserable, but they're not happy. They're making do. They're settling. They're coexisting. They're settling for whatever reason, for money, for the kids, for the whatever. And they're stuck, right? But they're not miserable. So they're not miserable enough to end things. They just miserable enough to complain about them a lot, usually, or get into fights with each other or whatever. So much of the world is there. Then there's people who are truly miserable in the relationship. Abuse is going down. They're like, and they're still stuck and can't get themselves out. Or they've left miserable relationships and still are haunted by them. And it takes a long time to heal from getting out of them. Like, all these scenarios are going down. And I see these with clients a lot. I see a whole lot of single people. I see more single people happy than people in relationships that are truly happy. Maybe that's because you have more power and control over your life when you're single than you do when you're in relationships. Or I don't know. I began seeing so many really beautiful, intelligent, fabulous single women clients when I first started doing readings. And it just seemed like to be a theme. Like, why are these women not with partners? Like, it just and I kept getting the message that, and I've gotten it over and over and over again since, that women in particular, men, there are nurturing men out there, but and women are the nurturers. We're wired to nurture. So when we get into relationships, we tend to put all our energy into the other person, right? Pouring in. And then what most people I see find that they're not getting that energy back. This is one of the reasons they don't feel happy in their relationships. Women who are not in relationships will pour all that nurturing energy into the world around them. They'll help their friends, they'll help their kids, they'll help their neighbors, they'll help, and so it feels like right now, with the place that the planet is in such a critical transformational place, the planet itself and the lives and the evolutions of everyone on the planet, it's so much bigger than happily ever now right now. on the planet. It really is about suiting up and show up and growing and tapping into your higher self and being alive and present on the planet to help shift the tides, help bring the conscious awareness to a new place on the planet, right? That's so much more important work. And so women that aren't in relationships are putting more of their energy into this work. I think the planet needs it. I just think that's part of the reason. It's not, doesn't mean you can't manifest love and relationship. But I feel like it's just not, it's a back burner item right now. Front and center, what's important is the whether or not that this planet continues like, as a planet with the nuclear stuff that's being dangled around here and there, like that's no joke stuff. Like that's like our planet could be extinguished with that BS. So I don't sense we're on the verge of that psychically. I do feel like the light workers are rolling up sleeves and really helping. We've got beings from other planets here now to help us. Like it's like the doulas are here to help us all rebirth ourselves on this planet. So anyway, I think that's all I have this week about the transits. That's an interesting little diatribe that got channeled there at the end. Never know, never know. Okay, so now I'm going to move to mini readings for all 12 signs. I'll start with the Aries. This is your sun, your moon, your rising sign. Or if you have a stellium, 3 or more planets in Aries, this reading's for you for this week or whenever you're watching this video. So let's see what the Aries need to know for this week. Just ground with some breaths. All right, we've got the awareness card. So this is that aha, the realization where you look at something clearly. This is not confusion at all, Aries. This is like, no, if you need to see something clearly, ask your higher self, sit down and like be honest with yourself. Because to me, this is absolute clarity coming in, realization. No, like, well, I'm not sure. I don't know. No, this is saying you see absolutely awareness. Completely aware. There's no shadows here, no delusion, illusion. Once you see, you see. Once you know, you know. Once you've gotten the information, you've gotten the information. There's no going back after you see. Like, okay, I see. All right. So you're getting some very, very clear message this week. I feel like you may be getting it in 2 forms. Like you may be dreaming about something and you may also be getting the message just in your waking thoughts or in a situation or an interaction with someone. I feel this is just because of the way the person is kind of looking down, it feels like this is just you with you. Like someone else may mention something. If they do, I don't even think you would say to them, oh my God, you just said Boulder and I was just thinking about Boulder. No. This is something you would like, just confirmation. You would like check it in and go, that's a confirmation. Awareness. This is like clear, aware, knowing what the next steps are, being very clear. To me, this is like no illusion, no delusion. This is no beating yourself up either. This is not like, oh, you shoulda, coulda. No, this is just like, this is your situation. It's kind of like how someone else could walk into the house of a hoarder or whatever and just start saying, okay, we clean up here, we do this. And the person who lives there is just paralyzed, right? By everything that's moving around. To me, this image may be coming to mind for a reason. Have you been paralyzed with something in your life, Aries? Is there some area, some place in your life where there's some stuck energy? You haven't been able to put chi into that. You haven't been able to get that part of your life flowing. Something is stuck. Just start it. One little baby step, just get it flowing. Like to me, this is not anything that would take much time anyway. You're blocking your own chi is what it feels like, Aries. There's a block, a stuck energy. You're getting a clear sense of what, how, when, and where. And then you're like, then it's up to you. Like to me, there's a point where you step into like, I purposely want to be delusional. And you make that step, like, I'm gonna just be crazy. It's like, it's kind of like that, black or white. I'm gonna live my life the way I know I'm guided to live it, or you might as well just right, put me away. Like it's very clear, black and white. I feel like in terms of action realizations, what you need to do this week. It feels like clear information comes through. To me, this is not new information. This is information you already know. For some reason, you've gone back and configured, reconsidered, there's something you're redoing internally, rethinking, revisiting something. Some things don't need to be revisited. That's what I get. Like some things you already know, and once you know, you don't have to go back. No, you don't have to go back and see that again. You don't have to go back and check in with them again. No, you're done. Like, so I feel like there's something like that too that's going on, Aries. Like, no, you don't need to reconnect with that person. You're done. Like, that's over. There's something new on the horizon is what I feel. There's a shift or a commitment to you that has to be made first, though. There's something that you need to do with you to like unlock the next. Like it feels like there's lots of gifts, kind of like Amazon got a truck loaded up for stuff for you, but they can't get down your street. Like, there's something you've blocked where they can't even just come flow in. So I feel like, what are you doing that's blocking your energy? And it feels like it's daily groove, daily routine stuff, like I was saying at the beginning of this video. Little bitty changes, simple changes, maybe not easy, but simple changes is what it feels like that can make a huge shift, and just like committing to it. Like this is about being disciplined, having routine, and having awareness about what that is, clarity about all that, like just all but clear, visual. There's a visual piece that comes with it. So I don't know if you like can see yourself literally writing things down. It feels like it could be like that, like writing it down in a journal, writing it down on a poster, writing it down, how you're going to write it down daily and keep track of it. But there's some sort of daily writing is what it feels like. All right, that's what I get for the Aries. Let's go on to the Tauruses. Sun, moon, rising stelliums in Taurus. What do you guys need to know this week or whenever you're watching this video? There's the receptivity card. This is about being open and being clear and being ready to receive what you've been looking for. Like just open up. It's right there. I feel like you've already been putting in the hard work, Tauruses. This is where you receive notifications, information, messages, receive info back. They're like, it's just the universe is pouring down on you. For one thing, it's pouring down psychic and spiritual information, just direct downloads to yourself so that you know what action to take. Like, oh, I know what I'm supposed to do today. It feels like it's very clear. If you carve out the space just to be open, that you're clearly guided. Feels like an easy week where things can just flow, just being open to receive, and even have something surprising coming in that you received this week, Taurus. As it feels like just almost like a little kiss from the universe, a little secret gift, something that would be just special just to you. It could even be seeing a rare butterfly in your garden or something, just for a flit of a minute or whatever. It doesn't have to be like it's literally a package delivered at your door. It could be a package delivered at your door, however you guys like your things, Tauruses. But this feels more spiritual. Although I do hear it can be literal. There can be literal something that you're receiving this week, something that's you've been waiting for, maybe something you've ordered, you forgot about, something's coming back through. There's also this water energy. So it feels like it's important to go get and be around water, drinking more water. Maybe go to be on the lake or go to the ocean or go play in the creek or, take a walk by the lake. There's something about water that's important this week too for the Tauruses. The lotus flower is up here in this card. So this is about, setting the cause for great level transformation. This is not just about ordinary life. This is about this is life being really great, fabulous, transformative, like that you're here doing spiritual work, that you're clear that you're in a good space. This feels like it could be a really good week. You could feel really good this week, Tauruses. All right, let's go to the Gemini. So this is your sun, your moon, your rising, or if you have a stellium of planets in Gemini, what you need to know for this week or whenever you're watching this. The rebirth card. So this is a powerful week. This is about transforming your life in some way. Rebirth is no play. This is like making a big shift, really shifting things. That starts with this camel. This camel doesn't move much. It's just the beast of burden, right? It's carrying everybody's stuff, stores even the water that it drinks itself, right? And then out of this camel comes the lion. The lion is motivated to get, he may get pissed. I've always thought it was interesting that the word courage had the word rage in it, and I think of courage when I think of lions. And so there's like something may piss you off but get you into motion, like something gets you moving. And then out of the rage and the courage of the lion is tempered this small child that's playing an instrument. So it's like it's a sweetening of the spirit. It's like an evolution. It's taking things from not action, nothing shifting, getting in motion. How do I just be really soft and gentle and sweet with myself? To me, that's the energy that's kind of going on this week with the Gemini. I really see all three of those energies you moving through. Feeling stuck, feeling pissed off, something getting you in motion, and then also just having the energies be sweetened. And what brings me joy and what makes my heart sing. And there may be a real need to listen to uplifting music this week too, Geminis. I'm just feeling this sort of the bright energy around the flute and the energy here, that there could be really something to help jar you out of your space by listening to, whether that's tribal flutes or, something spiritual, some solfeggio frequency, something that literally lifts your vibration, or just, your favorite genre of music that makes you happy and dance and sing. But I'm seeing this joyful dance kind of energy coming on by the end of the week. It feels like a celebratory, yay, I got motion. I got something accomplished. To me, you're getting over something you procrastinated to get. Like this camel to me is like something you're procrastinating about, and you're getting motivated, getting something moving this week. You're stopping the procrastinating, you're getting motivated, you're actually doing it. And it feels like, well, why didn't I start this sooner? It's kind of what it feels like. It feels like there's a sense of relief. I'm hearing rebirth, but relief is what it feels like whenever you get this shift moving. It feels like, relief. So this feels really good, really powerful, big shift this week for the Geminis. Okay, let's see about the Cancers. Got the sun in your sign, so happy birthday to my Cancers. New moon will be in your sign. This could actually feel like an extra special kiss for you guys, this new moon this week. It's in your sign. It could just feel extra special that there's something new beginning for you personally, finally. You've been really going through it. It just feels like it's a gauntlet, one thing after another. I just feel like for some of you, this is like you're getting to start the new beginnings, regardless if the old stuff isn't finished yet, whatever. The aloneness card is coming. This is also a real desire to be your best self alone and spend more time by yourself. You deserve your energies. You deserve the best of you. The way you like to nurture other people and, cook for them or heal them in whatever way you do. Can you do that for you this week? This is what this is to me. It's like loving you. The aloneness card is not necessarily that don't have people in your life, but this is the spiritual search, which we're all doing alone, even if we're doing it with a group of other people that are chanting with us, singing and prayer with us. drumming on drums with us, whatever, meditating quietly with us, chanting the same words with us, whatever, we're still having our own unique connection, even in those situations where we are with other people. But this card will often call to you feeling called to being alone. Like, I don't want to be with other people. I just want to be alone. I just want to have a solace in spirit. I just want to like step away from the world and be having some quality time with me, is what it feels like this week for the Cancers. You know, this too shall pass. It's just, it feels like you're taking this, like searching out yourself and what can you do differently to nurture and take care of yourself better, seriously, and like really wanting to put that into some serious practical action. Could probably use some joy and humor because this feels very serious. And yes, this is a serious work that we're doing, growth, evolution of the soul. It's a serious thing. You can also really have some fun while you're doing it. You really can. You can like call a girlfriend and joke about what's really going down, right? Oh, with a hiccup with that, that would be a confirmation on that. There's a need to like have some fun for some Cancers out there. So you can be spiritual and deep and grow and have fun, is what it feels like. Feel that joyful, make a joyful noise, you know. What taps you into joy the quickest? That would be a great thing to write about. What taps you into joy the quickest? When can you tap in and find that joy the quickest? What kind of activities, what kind of people, what situations can you find yourself really experiencing joy? And then see about going about doing that every day in some form or fashion, right? Like daily doses of joy is what Cancers feel like they need this week. Okay. Now we'll move to the Leos. So this is for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Stelliums in Leo. You need to know this week or whenever it is that you're watching this. The Traveling card. So this is about a journey. It can be literal, that you're literally traveling right now, or you're literally planning a trip, or you just got back from traveling. It could also be spiritually. It's the traveling, the journey that your soul is doing. And where are you now in your journey? Like, where else do you need to go to learn things? Where are you in your journey? What is your destination? And where are you now in your journey? Like, did you fall off the beaten path? Are you getting lost? Is your ADD little brain pulled you into some other crevice instead of like, what is it we're doing? Oh, that's right. This is sort of a reminder to get an overall picture of what is your journey right now. Like, what does this phase of your life look like? What is it that you're wanting to manifest right now in your life this next year? Like the next 10 years, the next 5, whatever period of time. But like, time goes by so quickly, right? It's going to be July at the end of this week. We're already like halfway through this year already. So that's when you're making persistent, consistent effort on a daily basis. It may feel like something's taking a long time to shift, but the truth is you can shift something really quickly by giving it consistent, persistent, daily action, attention. There's something I'm getting about that for the Leos, that persistent, consistent, daily attention towards something where you want to grow and develop yourself, whether that's dietary, exercise, meditation, whatever. I feel like it's something core like that though. But there's also someone who's literally thinking of traveling or visiting someone somewhere else. The traveling card is here, like, or maybe you're thinking about someone who lives somewhere else. There's that energy going on. There's just this beautiful light coming out to the sun here, and it just feels like even just getting messages about them or finding about them, or maybe even just keeping up with them on social media or something. There's some sort of like light coming in from a connection with someone who lives somewhere else. I'm getting for the Leos, and it just feels like it's pleasant, it's warm. Maybe there's been a reconnection, and it's just kind of like a healing of the heart has happened somehow. there's definitely a journey ahead. Like this person's still climbing up the mountain. So there's definitely still more to your story. But whatever the story is, whatever you're in the middle of the story that you're in, like there's going to be another story, right? It's just the story that's going on right now. So what is your story right now? And are you living your story right now in the way that you feel you're doing it your best? The best possible way you could be living your story right now. Is that what you're doing? To me, that would be the question to ask yourself this week. And how can you tweak certain things to realign yourself with that? Be what I would say for the Leos. All right, now we're going to go to the Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Stellium, and Virgos. What Virgos need to know for this week, or whenever you're watching this. Understanding card. This is about realizations. It's about ahas. It's about, oh, okay, I get it. It's when you're like, why? And then all of a sudden you get the realization as to why. You're like, oh, okay. It could be a timing thing. It could just be a piece you didn't see. It's like, but there's a why. As you're going into this week, if Virgos are like, why is this? Why is that? And it may be something you have no control over. And maybe there's just some spirit that's kind of given you some sweet insight, maybe some futuristic message, or maybe something about something that you need to know about that is coming into the future, or just how you need to look at it, how you need to like maybe have some gratitude, or how can I just be in a good space today? What is that one thing that shifts your whole day around, shifts your whole perspective around, opens yourself up to like, oh, the sun coming out, understanding something? That's what's going on here in this energy for this week, which is a really beautiful energy. It's like coming out of the darkness, or there's a cage here, right? So there's maybe a place where you've like caged yourself in, you've locked yourself in, you've been chewing on something over and over and over again, and maybe you haven't gotten clear about it. And now it feels like the clarity just like, oh, wait, there was an opening there. When you walked around it a bunch of times, didn't see the opening. And then all of a sudden you walk by and you stop and you go, oh, there's an opening right here. Okay. It's just like, it feels like something just snaps, something just clicks, something just opens up, something that you didn't know previously. All of a sudden, and it's just the right time to know something, to learn something, to see something, to understand something. The understanding card is what this is. So it's just like, it feels like it's a deeper level of aha realization, and it can come out of nowhere. It can come when you're just staring out the window. All of a sudden you can have like it can come out of a dream. It can come out of a conversation. Something's triggering this, like, to me, the trigger is the desire to know the answer, to get the higher information, to be able to see clearly what it is you're doing on your path right now. That's what this understanding is. Like, I want to see a bigger picture. I need to see what's next. What am I supposed to be doing next? Like, I'm just getting over finishing whatever I just did. It feels like, okay, now what's next? Okay, right. There's something coming. What's next? Oh, okay. I see. Like just a realization around what is coming next and what the next phase is. It definitely feels like you're finishing one phase and starting a new phase. So, and even understand, why did it take so long to start this new phase? Why did the old phase take so long to finish, or whatever? There's a timing question in here, and you get the answer like, oh, okay, because if that had happened, this wouldn't happen, then this and that, or whatever. It feels like there's things clicking into place in a way maybe you didn't realize before. And now you are. All right, so now we'll move on to the Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, Stelliums in Libra. What you need to know this week, or whenever you're watching this. Libra. Reverse the scales, weighing things back and forth and back and forth. And that's just if you have one planet or aspect there. These are some good cards. All right, I've drawn the consciousness card, which is the Buddha card. This is about accessing your Buddha nature, your higher self, your higher level consciousness, your Christ self, your divine self, whatever you call that. We all have a higher self. It's not our ego. It's not our physical body. It's the part of our soul that continues on when this lifetime is done. So there is a connection to this higher self, this spiritual self. There is like a communion is what I'm getting with this. So that this is like if you're doing like spiritual practices where you feel like you're communing with your higher self, or you're listening to singing bowls or bells or gongs or meditating or praying or whatever, to me this is like putting your attention on your connection with your higher self and just being with that. It's not like doing anything. It's like choosing to be in that consciousness more, see things from the highest perspective. Okay, I can look at it from this lower self perspective that's whining and complaining and feeling victimized or whatever. What if I looked at it from my Buddha nature? How would my Buddha view this situation right now? Probably as an opportunity for growth, right? All the negative stuff in our lives, the problems, the poisons in our life can be looked at as medicine, right? Poison to turn to medicine, or obstacles to turn into benefits. If you look at it with those eyes, there's nothing to fear. Everything is either humming and beautifully harmonious because you've been listening to and following your inner direction. So you're having this beautiful flow going and you're just like blissed out and smelling flowers and hearing birds singing, or you're in deep in the mire of your stuff and you're lost and you can't see straight or whatever. Then all of a sudden you have something within you, your consciousness, that reminds you to drop all the stuff of this 3D world and connect in with higher self, higher spirit, right? So this is like being rescued by the spiritual forces around you to remember to wake up and to be awake as much as possible, to be connected to this higher self. That's what you're doing here, right? Staying in communion with your higher self is what's most important. The consciousness that whatever space that you're in is what you're generating out and putting out into the world, right? So if you're putting out your best self, you're gifting that to the entire world. Whereas if you're in your shitty self, you're in your fundamental darkness, you're generating your self-hatred and your self-loathing and your low self-esteem and all that. And that's what's circulating inside. That's what you're sending out as well, right? A lot of times empaths, when you start feeling gunky, it's because so many people are generating that negative energy out, right? And a lot of you guys are empaths. So this is also the best thing to do when you're around someone that's struggling and you have no idea how to help, is to just send energy to their higher self, their Buddha nature. Let their inner divine self do with that energy what it is needed to do. Like, what do they need? Do they need motivation? Do they need support? Do they need, what is it do they need? They need belief in themselves, like just holding that vision for someone else. So this is also, again, not just tapping into this for you, but tapping into this space for others, realizing to be the best self for other people is really just like praying for them and envisioning them as their higher self, right? Even if they don't have access to that right now, holding that vision of them connected with their higher self and feeling like a beautiful, harmonious flow between their physical body and their higher vibrations. Like, to me, holding that for someone is one of the greatest gifts that you could do. You don't even have to tell people you're doing that for them, right? You can sit in meditation and hold your friend in this beautiful outpouring of love, and just imagine them having love pouring down through their crown chakra and then feeling loved and supported or whatever. This is just something you can do as a visualization energy towards someone that you love, that you don't ever have to say a word to them. I guarantee it, they will feel it on some level though, right? And so will you. If you do that for yourself, just imagine love showering down on you from divine, can really change your day. Can change your day, can really shift everything, right? So like, do that, tap into that energy, bring it to mind, bring it to consciousness. That's what I have for the Libras. Okay, so now we'll move on to the Scorpios, sun, moon, rising, stellium, and Scorpio. What do you need to know for this week, or whenever you're watching this? The aloneness card. So this is about maybe not feeling like being social. It's about wanting to be alone. This is about spiritual connection with the divine. However, this is not just feeling lonely. It can mean like not wanting to tap into other people's energies, but it's because you want to tap into divine energies. This is the Hermit card in an old traditional tarot deck. So this is, you know, the spiritual voyage where you go out on a limb by yourself to get your own direct connection, and you're alone with your own divine connection, even if you're doing it with other people, right? You can have someone with you, you can be with a group of people that are chanting, meditating, drumming, whatever spiritual connection you're having. You're going to have your own interpretation of what your own divine connection is. It's going to be different from the people around you. So this is about where you really hone in. What is my divine connection? What do I need to feel the strongest divine connection? What do I need to do to feel like that light is turned on and guiding my way? That's what this is too. Like this person's following the light, right? Ultimately, you're turning that divine light on and following the way it is guiding you to do. That's the best, that's the highest path for you. So this is a week of finding out, what is my highest path? What am I spiritually doing this week? What's my spiritual work this week? That's what feels like is most important, is this the work you're doing spiritually, the work you're doing to stay connected to your own higher self, and realizing that there's a divine higher world here. It's not just this 3D realm. There's something so much deeper, something more important. So that's what's going on this week for the Scorpios, is connecting to this in a deep, powerful way. Like I'm gonna feel like I'll be hearing back from my Scorpio friends and clients, oh my God, I had the most powerful chanting session, or like I meditated for hours the other day. I just slipped into it, couldn't stop. It's that kind of like, I desire to connect with spirit in just like a deep and uninterrupted way. This is almost like a staycation, a stay retreat, where like, yeah, I'm just not gonna answer my phone for 3 days. I'm just gonna get really quiet inside. You may want to do that this week, or just say no to more social events. They're just, to me, I just feel like, or even if you're at social events, you may feel kind of alone. I just feel like there's just like, it's just kind of a down week, an off week in terms of interaction with the world, but there's an on week when it comes to inner growth this week for the Scorpios. All right, Sagittarius's sun, moon, rising, and stelliums in Sagittarius. What do you guys need to know for this week, or whenever you're watching this? Get about some of my Sag moon friends, or my Sag sun friends. Also have a sun with a Sag moon. The understanding card. Boy, the spiritual cards have been coming up for this week. This is a deeply spiritual week, it seems like, for everyone. This is when you have those realizations, understandings, when you see outside the box, and all of a sudden you can see clearly, oh, okay, I needed to see this. To me, this is something you didn't want to see. Like this opening was always here. It feels like here's this bird in this cage, but the birds outside are like, yeah, come on out. Like, you don't have to stay in there. You don't have to keep yourself caged in. It feels like there's something you've done to yourself. You've trapped yourself somehow. How you've thought about something yourself, or mistakes you've made that have kept you, I don't know. It just feels like there's something you feel like you've done, or you can't undo, or you can't change something, or something that's, well, that's all of us, right? Can't change anything that's already gone down. But there's a new way to look at something from the past that I feel like is a new perspective. This may be even not something you've done. It may be a new perspective on something someone else has done, or even how someone else, the opening to someone else approaching you. To me, there's a shift in perspective, like how you're creating your reality by a perspective that you've been holding. But I feel like that perspective is shifting this week. Like you're getting the insight, you're getting that realization, that understanding, the aha of like, oh wait, I could also look at it like this, and then that would shift it. It's like, to me, it's a shift in perspective that I'm seeing. And it may be that you see other people who are not being stuck by the same, like other people are having what you want or manifesting what you want to manifest, who maybe feel in greater ease with themselves or something. It's like, what are those people doing, that are making them feel more at ease, more connected, whatever. There's like wanting to kind of be like other people, but just people that are mirroring like higher self, higher dimensional behaviors, not like just the average, oh, I want to be like that person and wear those kind of jeans. It's like, oh, that person emulates such light. I just feel better when I'm around them. They're like, it's that kind of an energy where like, you're like, I want to be more like this person, or I want to follow. There may be messages coming in from other people like that who are tapped into some sort of other higher vibration, and may like show you the way, open the door for you to tap into something new information. Could even be online that you get tapped into something new. Could be just a download you get directly through your own visions or through a dream, through a conversation. But it feels like there's a new understanding, a new realization, something from a higher perspective that breaks through this week that feels really lovely. It's like, oh, okay, cool. It's like, oh, okay. It doesn't feel like offensive to see something from this new perspective. It's like, oh, okay. Yeah, I could look at it that way. That'd be really awesome. So there's something, a new perspective that opens up a new way of looking at something, and then opens up a new way of being, is what it feels like. That's what I get for the Sages. Now we're going to go to the Capricorns. Your sun, moon, rising, or stellium in Capricorn. What do you guys need to know for this week? Or if you're looking at this point in some point in the future, what do you need to know right now? Receptivity card. This is being open to spiritual downloads, spiritual insights, new information from your higher self, not your lower self, not information from the world of social media, but from the realm of spirit and divine things. This is like powerful forces, is being open for spiritual growth, spiritual direction, psychic insights, psychic hits on people, powerful, vivid dreams. The lotus flower here is activated. The lotus flower puts its blossoms and it seeds out at the same time. So you can be really like setting a cause this week where the benefits feel almost like immediate, like doing some sort of shift or change where you feel a difference immediately, physically, emotionally, mentally. There's some sort of, I feel like, being open to making a big shift or change that affects everything. Like kind of like, okay, I'm willing to let go of this thing. I'm willing to toss it over, let go of it, and receive some spiritual insight, spiritual direction. Yeah, this is like just getting downloads. Like, and this may be a whole lot of vivid dreams. This can be like a whole lot of psychic hits and picking up on a whole lot of people. It just feels like something is wide open right now. Kind of, and maybe because you're just kind of offline, it feels like it's happening kind of surprise, not like you're not direct trying to be open. You're just like all of a sudden like, bam, I had the most vivid series of dreams last night, or I keep picking up on people and they're texting me, that kind of thing. So it feels like certain things are turned on psychically, spiritually. It feels very powerful. Enjoy it. There's a development of your own abilities that have been heightened here, is what it feels like for the Capricorns. All right, now we go to the Aquarians. So we go to sun, moon, rising, and stelliums in Aquarius. What do you guys need to know for this week or whenever you're watching this? Transformation card. All right, this is a very powerful week for everyone. Like there's so many spiritual cards that have been drawn, so it feels like there's just the energy of transformation on the planet. And for those people that are tuned in or doing their spiritual work, this can be such a powerful week. Like just to take a ride and plug into this higher spiritual energy that's here, feels super intensive, super powerful. Like this would be the week to meditate extra, chant extra, write in your journal extra, like write down your dreams. Um, Pay attention to these odd, like incoming strong psychic hits. Like to me, this is like there could be like 10 things every day. This feels like it's a week that's jam packed full of lots of incoming signals, lots of the universe speaking to you about how things are shifting or changing and where to look to change, how to make some certain changes. Like I feel like you're about to go through a big, huge change. Aquarius is what it feels like. Like your lives are not going to look the same a year from now, is what I'm feeling. And so it's like, what are you shifting? Which parts of your life are going to start first? Where do you start? It feels like it's an inside out. Are you starting with your spiritual connection, your spiritual part? You're writing something. There's some sort of writing going on too, creative project that's going on that could really transform your life. Insights that you're getting, downloads. Like there's some of you that are being like mediums where like guides are working with you to communicate a message that you're supposed to be translating and getting across to other people, or transmitting, not necessarily translating. It feels like it's coming through like automatic writing or typing, where the information is just coming through and then you just write it out. So there's some Aquarian there that needs to do your automatic writing. Chant the messages that are coming through need to go out in writing form, is what it feels like. So there could be a blog, could be some, but I feel like the prayers are going that where people can read the words. So yeah, a lot of creativity, a lot of spiritual growth, a lot of power. This feels so powerful. This feels like the shaman at a prayer circle kind of thing, like singing and chanting and jumping around. It feels like you're going to feel in your power this week, Aquarius, which is lovely. It's lovely to feel that way. Dreams could be vivid too. You may want to spend a lot of time sleeping. Maybe that's where you feel most powerful too. If dreams are off the chain, you may just want to stay in bed. And this is not because you're lazy, it's because there's some deep level work happening while you're sleeping, is what it looks like this week for the Aquarians. And now we'll go to the Pisces. Sun, moon, rising stelliums and Pisces. What do you guys need to know this week, or whenever you're watching this? Traveling card. This is you in the middle of a journey. You are not where you once were. You're not in Kansas anymore, but you've not reached your destination. This could literally be talking about traveling. You may have just traveled, or you may be planning a trip, or you may be on a trip now. So it could be literal about travel plans or literal traveling. It's also symbolic. Even if it is literal, there is also symbolic traveling here. The journey that you're in. Where are you in your journey? This person is like right here on the trail up the mountain. So you're not completely where you're going. Where are you? Have you gone off trail? Are you on the right track? Are you doing the things that if you put one foot in front of the other will get you to your destination? Are you happy? Are you feeling joyful? Is this journey that you're moving through, this adventure, one that you want to be having on a daily basis? Like, are you enjoying your life on a daily basis, is what I'm getting from this card. It's like, and if not, what do you need to do differently to enjoy your life, to really find peace, really find joy, really find happiness in what you're doing on a daily basis? Like, this is a journey to find ultimate fulfillment, is what I'm getting for the Pisces. So there's some information this week about that. Like, what do you need on a daily basis to get you on the path that you want to be on? Like, are you waylaid somewhere? Like, are you at a rest stop for too long now? Or are you on your journey and you're just really tired? And it's okay. You just maybe you need to rest. Some of you need to rest. Some of you need to get up from the rest stop. I'm not sure which is which. Like, but some of you are plowing along too heavy. It's okay to take a break, to take a vacay. Others, you have been on vacay mode too long and need to get moving. So like, whoever it is I'm talking to, you take what it is that you need to hear and either take a break or get moving, depending on what it is. We need to break along the way, that's for sure. When we get tired, we need to rest. And then we need to keep moving persistently towards our dreams. And so, do you have goals? Do you know what the next year you want to have happen in your life? Are you putting energy into making that happen? What is that ultimate goal? What is that ultimate dream? What does that look like for you in your life? head towards it. That's what I get, the Pisces. Okay, and for those of you who do watch, and I know there's some of you who report to me that you watch the entire thing, because we do have all 12 signs in our whole chart. I appreciate your long attention. Thanks for those of you who subscribe, who follow, who like, who share. All that's greatly appreciated. Let me know if I can help you with some private sessions. Have a great week. Peace.